Expresso visited the Mfuleni community near Cape Town, where we met Mpokeleng Litsoma, a 30-year-old nurse. Habitat for Humanity volunteers are changing her family's life one brick at a time.
In January 2011, my house has been built. Oh, I was so excited because I was so stressed. I was living in the shack for the past 6 years, I think. So I was very happy because I know the heavy rains of winter, I'm out of it now. There's no basin over my head anymore now.
Habitat for Humanity depends on volunteers to make a difference on building sites in 34 communities across South Africa. The experience has a lasting impact on the community and on the hearts of the volunteers.
The jobs that I've been doing on site, I've been laying bricks, I've been mixing cement, I've been putting window frames together, I've been bagging cement. I've done everything possible that I would never have done before. The Habitat of Humanity, I think they do a great job, actually, when they tell you the stories and the amount of houses they build, and to know that it's voluntary. I think they do a great job for the community.
We use this as a team building experience where we actually got people together from different departments and different areas of Cape Town, and we actually enjoy just working together.
My perception in terms of how these people are living and what I take for granted has definitely changed. I suppose I'm just really grateful for what I have, and I suppose the opportunity to be involved in being part of changing somebody's life is just really something which I can't explain.
I'd certainly encourage people to become involved with Habitat for Humanity. It's a very well-run organization, and if it's one of your first experiences going into somewhere where you're not familiar with the surroundings, Habitat really does take care of their volunteers. There are a lot of other not-for-profits out there who aren't as organized, so I certainly recommend Habitat as a great place to start.
Now, a couple of years back, I was invited by a very good friend, Hanli Host, to go and join her and the team from Habitat for Humanity and to experience what a day out is like and what amazing work the team does. And I've got Adrian Burke from Habitat for Humanity here with us in studio to tell us more about the fantastic job you guys do. I must say, the day out I spent with you guys was fantastic, and just seeing people's faces when they receive their house, it's just
Absolutely.
To know that you were just part of that. Even if you just lay a few bricks, you were just part of changing someone's life. What is Habitat for Humanity South Africa?
Habitat for Humanity South Africa is basically a non-profit organization. We're part of Habitat for Humanity International, which has 93 branches across worldwide. We embrace the vision of a decent place for everybody to live. And we strive to provide somebody with a simple, decent, affordable housing and to eradicate poverty within South Africa. Statistically speaking, every 16 minutes around the world, somebody receives keys to their front door.
Wow, that is amazing. Now, how does someone qualify for a house?
Basically, they have to be a South African citizen. They have to have the title deeds to their property. They also must be eligible for a government subsidy. And they must perform 60 hours of sweat equity. Sweat equity means that they have to work on a minimum of 60 hours on somebody else's house, four other houses. So in other words, they're giving back to the community and they're helping the community before they qualify. And most importantly, they have to attend our workshops, because a house is the most expensive investment, and for some people, the most expensive investment. So we run through them on a number of workshops, from financial planning to budgeting to home maintenance, how to look after your home, succession planning, that sort of thing, because we believe it's the most expensive investment.
Now, I've had the chance to experience what happens out on a build, but for people who haven't experienced that or haven't been out there, what really happens out there? And it's not glamorous, so I just want everyone to know, but it's fun.
You learn a lot about building.
Yes. And you don't have to be a qualified builder.
No, and most of the comments that have come out say that they actually have the utmost respect for builders by the time they're finished. You have a lot of fun, you do a lot of work. Day one, basically, in the mornings they have a meet and a greet and they get together. And then they get told about what happens on the build and basically safety measures. So day one is basically putting up 8 levels of walls. Day 2 is increasing the walls to 13 levels. Day 3, they do the internal walls, and day 4, they put on the roof tiles and the trusses. And day 5 being the most important, because you hand over the house to the beneficiary. And that normally is a very emotional experience because we hand the keys around all the volunteers, from one volunteer to the next. They have something to say about the house, and finally the keys get handed over to the beneficiary together with the Bible, because we are a Christian organization. It's a very emotional experience for the simple reason that you have been part, you've sweated.
Yeah, blood, sweat and tears.
And you've worked with the beneficiary on site, helping him to build his house and provide a roof over their head.
And do you have a program where you go back and look if they're looking after their house to see how they're doing?
Absolutely.
Can they be in contact with you if they're struggling with anything?
You know, Habitat, we basically, we provide the platform for change in terms of a social development, skills development. We don't just hand over a house. We basically hold their hand and walk them through the whole process. So yes, it's most importantly that we go back and we check that everything's fine. And yes, and that they've actually provided the platform for them for an opportunity to change the cycle from one generation to the next.
And how can people get involved with Habitat for Humanity?
Funding, yes, most important. Just a thought that within 49.5 million people within South Africa, if everybody just gave R1 a month, we'd have 49.5 million per month, which over a 10-month period, which is the time that we build, we would be able to do 500 houses a month and 5,000 houses a year, just on R1 a month. So on the funding component, yes, that's important. But volunteers, without their hands, we can't do it. So it goes hand in hand. We need the volunteers as much as the funding. So yes, yeah.
And a volunteer, how long does it take? How many volunteers does it take to build a house in 5 days?
Normally 20 to 30 on a site every day. So they can come in. Most volunteers will come in for 1 day or they'll come in for the 5 day. To have the ultimate experience, obviously you do the 5 day because then you're working with the beneficiary. You learn to understand, you get to know the beneficiary. The beneficiary provides the keys on site, so you get an affinity for, and then at the end of the day, and on day 5, you hand over the keys. So yes, it's a wonderful experience.
Well, you guys do such fantastic work, and thank you that I could have been part of that experience.
And
I'll definitely be
yes.
there again when you're building in Cape Town next. So please let us know.
I will do. Thank you.
Now, take a look at my blog on expressoshow.com. I'll have all the details about Habitat for Humanity and how you can get involved and be part of a fantastic experience, building a house within 5 days and making a difference in someone's life, and also just making a donation to make that difference. Now stay with us here on Expresso, because we're running a fantastic viewers competition where you could win a chance to experience 2-night VIP stay at Mount Grace. Here are all the details.